A very Merry Christmas to you, and welcome to another edition of Diaspora Network, the show that celebrates Nigerians who are excelling in the diaspora in various fields. I'm Ijoma Onyato. It's Christmas, the season of cheer, and the time when Christians commemorate the birth of Jesus Christ. It comes with a lot of celebration by Nigerians in the diaspora, and we capture it all on the show today, the travel as well as the food, the fashion, and the style of the season. And speaking of style, we tell the compelling stories of Nigerian designers and the creatives in the fashion industry whose collections and ideas are influencing global fashion trends, not just at Christmas, but all year round. And of course, our cameras traveled all the way to Dubai, where we found fashion director and curator Modupe Manzi. She's the founder of Runway Dubai and the first to hold a fashion show at the famous Dubai Mall. We have a lot to show you in the next 30 minutes, but let's take a quick look at the news of the week.
Every year, thousands of Nigerians from around the world return home to celebrate the Christmas period with their families and friends, and many of them have been flooding social media with the hashtag IJGB or I Just Got Back. However, equally, the Nigerians who have decided not to go back home during this season also make their voices loud and stand proud in different parts of the world.
Today, I'm having a secret Santa with my friends, and it's more like Nigerian themes, so bringing traditional feelings up.
We plan to celebrate in London because we have some family, we have my sister, we have my uncles here. So we are celebrating, actually we want to celebrate in London, chicken, I have a roast chicken, cook some nice Nigerian food and eat. That's it.
My Christmas message to all my fellow Nigerians is to keep sharing and spreading the love. We know that times can be tough at different times, not just during Christmas, but as a family, we want to encourage other people out there to just keep the faith and keep sharing the love. That's the most important thing.
Let me say to my Nigerian people, enjoy yourself, have fun, celebrate.
Amazon Prime Video has released a new show called Riches about a wealthy Nigerian family living in the UK. The new drama series centers on a rivalry between two families as they challenge the legacy of a successful cosmetics company who, when its owner passes away, unveils its secret second family. The cast features Ineka Okoye, Emmanuel Imani, Ola Orebi, and the up-and-coming British-Nigerian actress Deborah Ayorinde, who also stars in the critically acclaimed psychological horror series, Them. The show is filled with a thrilling string of lies, forbidden romances, and questionable business practices, which make for an exciting watch, and it has already gripped many Nigerians across the pond. The show is also released on UK's ITV streaming platform and is available nationwide. The granddaughter of the late iconic singer Christy Essien has released a single titled Oge Meme ahead of her new album. Christiana Ibokwe, who lives in Houston, Texas, is only 10 years old and already walks in the footsteps of her grandmother, who was known as Nigeria's Lady of Songs and released hits such as Hear the Call and Give Me a Chance. The late singer was orphaned at an early age, and her love of music inspired her to persevere. This motivation helped propel her into a career which spanned for 3 decades. However, she's most known for the inspirational record, Seun Rere, which became a rallying cry within Nigeria after it was released in 1981. Christiana's single, which translates to Celebration Time, is an African ballad that tells the story of a young girl born in the diaspora who returns to Nigeria to reconnect with her roots, and the song aims to connect with the values and beauty of being a true African. This festive beat comes at the perfect time to celebrate the many Nigerians who continue to honor their heritage around the globe. Teniola Oyetayo with your Diaspora Network News Wrap in London.
Recently, President Muhammadu Buhari met with Nigerians in Washington, New York at a town hall meeting as he rounded off his participation at the U.S.-Africa Leaders Summit. Present at the event are Nigerians from all walks of life, including media, entertainment, education, aviation, sportsmen and women, health practitioners and politicians voted and appointed into various positions in the last U.S. elections.
In order to actualize this vision.
At the event, the president expressed great pleasure in the conduct of Nigerians who have continued to excel in their chosen fields and assured them that the federal government will continue to watch their back. He also commended diasporans for actively investing back home, stating that in 2021, the country's diaspora home remittances through official channels stood at $20 billion, which is 4 times more than the value of foreign direct investment. President Buhari told the gathering that it will be the last time he would be addressing them in a town hall meeting in Washington and assured all Nigerians of a credible, free and fair elections in 2023.
We consider ourselves here in the United States of America very, very privileged, lucky to be able to present this to you. Yes.
Various souvenirs were presented to the president, including Chini Ogumike, a 2-time NBA All-Stars champion. Elsewhere in Angola's capital, Luanda, the Organization of African, Caribbean and Pacific States, which represents 79 countries, held its 10th Summit of Heads of State and Government. At the event, Nigeria was commended for its pioneering role in engaging its diasporans through the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission. Chairman of the commission, Mrs. Abike Dabiri Erewa, was nominated as Diaspora Champion. Mrs. Dabiri Erewa also co-chaired the summit, which focused on the general context of the diaspora, policies and strategies of engagement drawing from the Caribbean, Pacific and African experiences, success stories, and the Diaspora Center of Excellence in Nigeria, among others.
Now, a huge number of Nigerians back home and in the diaspora are blazing the trail in the fashion and creative industry. Here's a look at how their work is playing a huge role in the global economy.
Lights, presents, love, and joy. What's not to love about Christmas? Tis a season of celebration, which comes with a lot of travels, quality time with friends and family, food, fashion, and style. With social calendars often choked full at this time of year, fashion comes to play both in Nigeria and the diaspora. Distinct and defining are just a few words to describe fashion the Nigerian way. This may not be far from the reason why Nigerians have an influence on the global fashion industry. Over the years, the industry has undergone several changes, reinventing itself, taking parts of the old and mixing it with the new, yet retaining its distinctive allure and flavor. Today, there are standalone Nigerian fashion brands, African touch in recent collections of big designers, and African elements such as prints present in most impressionable fashion houses. Some of the many Nigerian designers are breaking boundaries and shining a spotlight on Nigerians as integral to the current style agenda. Mwalola Ogunlesi, Duro Lowu, Andrea Iyama are some of the many Nigerians whose talents are celebrated globally. They are playing a huge role in the industry, creating jobs and driving a significant part of the global economy. Nigeria, no doubt, is some of the finest designers in the world, and these individuals are using their skill and creativity to showcase the country's diversity and culture on a global scale, not just at Christmas, but all year round.
So we zeroed in on a Nigerian fashion guru who's a big supporter and a nurturer of emerging talents in the pageantry and fashion world.
Modupe Manzi was born in Lagos, southwest Nigeria, to Mr. and Mrs. Richard and Tina Shonibare. When she was 2 years old, her family moved to Port Harcourt, where she started her primary education at University Demonstration Primary School, Uniport. But at age 5, her family moved again, this time to Malaysia. She completed her primary school there, and when she turned 10, Her father decided he wanted them to return to Nigeria to have a sense of what it's like growing up back home.
I'm really happy that he put his foot down on importance of going back home to get educated, and I mean, I think about it now, and I'm really I feel blessed because of the values that my country has instilled in me, and all the importance of culture, lots of things that I mean, normally people will take for granted. I am very happy that my dad put his foot down and said, go back to school in Nigeria.
Back in Nigeria, she completed her secondary education at Federal Government Girls College, Aboloma, and went on to study industrial mathematics at Edo State University.
I graduated and started youth service in 1996. In 1997, I was done, and I started working with Schlumberger, an oil company, and in 1996, I met my husband. So we were dating, and the first thing he told me was, "I'm going to marry you." So I thought he was joking, actually, and you won't believe it. After less than 2 years, we got married. So in 1998, we got married, and he got transferred to the United States of America, and we went together.
Her journey into the world of fashion started at an early age. Her father wanted her and her sisters to learn a skill as teenagers, so during long holidays, he enrolled them at a sewing school. Over a decade after, she decided to make a business out of it.
I started applying for jobs, and all I got was teaching jobs, which I really didn't want, so danger of studying mathematics, the danger. So I just stayed home, and guess what? I decided this is what I really love to do. I love to create and do stuff with my hands, and so I went ahead and bought a sewing machine, and I found out I was pregnant. So I started trying my hands and cutting and trying to make stuff for the baby. So my love for sewing came back because my dad, back then, when we were on holiday, he would make us go to like a small sewing school and make sure we had something to do during the holidays. So I just rekindled that love for doing stuff. And my mother-in-law came to help me with the baby after I had my baby, and she couldn't believe it when she saw me sewing, and she was so shocked, and she said, "Oh, please don't, just keep, this is amazing, just keep going, and you never know." And true to her word, my friends started asking me to make stuff for them, and the story just continues.
Her family moved to Trinidad and Tobago, a good market for the fashion business. She went ahead to study a course at John Donaldson Technical College. For her graduation, she organized her first fashion show, and her fashion career kicked off right after. Modupe has so far founded several fashion platforms like the Runway Dubai Show and the Fashion Sustainability Summit in Dubai. Today, she's not only referred to as a fashion designer, but also a mentor and confidence coach who is creating platforms that enforces the importance of compassion and discipline while nurturing emerging talents in the industry.
Coming up on Diaspora Network, our interview with Modupe Manzi. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the program. Now let's get to know this unique trendsetter a little bit more.
Between 2005 and 2010, her family moved to Colombia, Azerbaijan, and the United Arab Emirates. And for every country they lived in, she took advantage of the opportunity and hit the ground running with her fashion business, regardless of the challenges that came with it.
I tried to do something immediately I get into a city or a country. I don't wait, unlike when the first time I moved to America, I waited a little bit. But I take advantage of wherever I am. I try to bury myself in the culture and learn and do something. Yeah.
Which you did in Colombia. Tell me about that.
So in Colombia, I did something totally different. I worked with models, and I was in Bogota, where we actually had so many opportunities to work with models and designers, different designers, photo shoots, amazing photographers there. And after a year, I decided, why don't I also open a store on the high street? So I did that, and I continued selling and promoting Africa, and just with the cold there, I was able to mix our prints with the Tamil wear, and it was something totally different. People will come to my store and ask for the ones with the prints. they didn't want anything plain. They always wanted something with that touch of the African print. So, of course, you would have challenges when you move to a country for the first time. But I learned from traveling like this, putting your challenges behind you is important. So, and trying to just push through, identify your challenges first, and then just keep pushing through. Don't take no for an answer, and you will come out on the other side for sure, with the type of attitude towards your goals, you know. So that's what I've been doing in any country that I go to. I make sure that I'm able to identify and then, you know, push through.
On arriving in Dubai, she identified some gaps in the fashion industry and was convinced that with her wealth of experience and talent, she could fill it. This prompted her decision to settle down in Dubai.
I kind of knew the challenges that I will face up front. And I was able to identify and I started slowly to investigate and see how I could manage and tackle all my challenges. But I already knew the gap, or the gaps that I needed to fill here in this country. And I took a little bit of all my experiences from different countries, what I've done previously, and just merged everything together to create, to fill the gap, you know. And so 2010, I already had my vision, and I was already making plans to show I would say to show a little part of my experience to people here, and to actually grow that experience and let other people get inspired. So the first thing I did was to start a fashion show, and I knew that I was dreaming. It was a big dream, but I knew that I could accomplish my dreams. So my first dream was to have a fashion show at the Dubai Mall. And I knew I had to work hard at it. But I was able to accomplish my dreams through reaching out to people. Anytime I come to a country, I always try to plug myself in a short course or in a little college where I could just meet people and study at the same time. So I did a crash course for 3 months, and you will not believe that I met a lady that actually was a point of contact to a lot of things that I have accomplished here in Dubai.
She made a name for herself as the first to hold a fashion show at the famous Dubai Mall.
This was the first place, I will tell you, that I realized that dreams really do come true. I could not believe, after so much hard work, that I could be hosting and showing my collection along with a few other designers that I have invited on my platform to show in the Dubai Mall, the biggest mall in the world. So I would say dreams do really come true. The show at the Dubai Mall was just to showcase what I could do and bring all that I had learned from my journeys and my travels to just to inspire people. And so that's why I said, oh, I need to bring people with me. So I was able to find a few designers that understood my story and wanted to be part of it. So we were 4 designers. I was the main act at the Dubai Mall. And so I got a lot of sponsors to support me. And it was an amazing show. So after that, people started asking for more.
And that inspired the birth of another milestone, the Runway Dubai, an annual fashion show that is poised to creating a hub in the UAE for local and international artists, fashion designers and creatives.
I noticed, I will tell you, that branding is very important because a lot of Africans and a lot of people from the GCC, the people from around here were mostly the people that came for the show. So I quickly identified that and I said, oh no, I wanted to be more open to every culture, every person that loves art, that loves fashion. And when I identified that that was what I really wanted to preach, a lot of people, the next day actually, I woke up with Runway Dubai in my head. And I said to my husband, I was like, I love this name, Runway Dubai. And you won't believe how it just, just quickly caught on with a lot of people. And we had to quickly go brand it. We had to quickly go trademark it because we believed in the name and true to everything that we've dreamed of. The very first Runway Dubai show was just by word of mouth. There was no advertisement or anything, and it was a full hall. It was packed and really surprising, different nationalities and different designers from all walks of life. So we had costume designers, we had African, and just a wonderful mix of culture and designers and creativity.
A decade later, the show has developed into one of the leading international fashion platforms in the Middle East and recognized as the most inspiring fashion event in the United Arab Emirates. And here's her viewpoint on how Nigerians both home and in the diaspora can find success in the global fashion industry.
We have the opportunity, we have the resources, but the growth is important in the sense that designers, a lot of show producers need to know what designers want and what designers need. So as a designer, I was able to go back to college I did a crash course in event management, and that kind of helped me to solidify my my business here, and I was able to stand out. So that's the thing. You need to know what designers want and need to be able to deliver, and that is a secret of longevity in this industry. And always bring a new idea, a new initiative, something that would inspire people. It's not just about your collection. It's a lot. It has a lot more, that just makes it a complete package. So there's a gap here, that still needs to be filled and addressed in this region. And with designers, they need to know how to address it as well, ask questions You know, don't just suffer as a creative, you know. You need to know how to speak up for yourself.
She wraps up with a word of advice for Nigerians doing business in the diaspora.
As a Nigerian, we have the richest culture. So your culture should be like your pride. It should be your pride. Your values. Your values are so important. So as a Nigerian, we tend to relax when we go abroad, but don't forget that your values are really admired by other people. And so those things, and just remember where you're from and just keep going, because we're strong. We have so strong personalities, and when we get somewhere, we're being noticed even without trying. So those things should be at the back of your mind, and just hold them with you while you're trying to navigate through life.
Well, there you have it. There's much more opportunity for designers like these to play a part in the industry and also to help change the narrative of the Nigerian work ethic. And that's it on the program. You can catch the show on our website, channelstv.com. I'm Ijoma Onyato. I'll see you next time, and Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Merry Christmas from the Diaspora.